Listen, Suki.
Right?
I want to shut you down now. I know you guys want to
shut me down.
Previously on Sister Wives, I keep thinking that you and I could make this work. What about you and me? We have had so many conversations where I've said it's done. We're done. We're not compatible. Will you accept me as monogamous? That's not what I wanted. Gosh, you're out of control. There are times that we butt heads. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. There's a Jasmine on both ends. I love Flagstaff, but it's time to do something different. I don't know how to explain this. It was never intended for me to know that Janelle was moving. Oh, I don't know. I need to find a man. Now I'm 52, but you have room for people to be in your life too. Madison actually called Janelle saying, "Dad said he didn't love you." I know, but couldn't you reach out to her? All this upheaval, all this damage, all this tearing us apart. I don't know how we fix it, or when we fix it, or whether we fix it. Music, the big family. It's just a mess. It's a painful, sad mess. There was a point where I just went, holy cow, I'm having days where I'm feeling vengeful and angry, and other days when I'm feeling benevolent and kind. And it's just become this roller coaster for me. I'm just waking kids up, getting ready for school. Got Solomon in the shower right now. Ari gets in a half hour or goes into school an hour after Solomon. I think things are relatively good with Janelle. Once in a blue moon, I talk to Janelle, and once even more rare, I talk to Meri. With Meri, we really do struggle to talk. I don't blame her, but it doesn't make life easy. And then with Christine, we text a little bit about truly pick-up times and stuff like that, but we don't talk in person at all. Instead of having an amicable, hey, we're not really working out. Have a good life. See you later. It got darker and darker and worse until breakup. And then, oh yeah, hey, I actually did love them. Music, we're going to have a Tuscan white bean soup. A Tuscan. Tuscan? 'Cause now I crave everything. Tuscan. I like soup in the winter time. Love soup. Soup is my love language. I love being married. Love being married to David. First year of marriage. They say that a lot of people fight in their first year of marriage. I think we're doing good. I'm just saying. I think that applies to young couples because they're trying to figure out each other. I think so too. But when you're older, I just don't care about a lot of the little stuff. No. No, I don't either. Our first year was really a tough year, and a lot of in some ways, we had really good stuff. But tough wasn't between you and I. It was a passing up Garrison that was really tough. Yeah, it was really, really tough. It was a lot of emotions. I miss him every day. And I bet you every day. Yeah. So, it was tough to see how you guys all handle it. And there's a lot of raw emotions going on. Like I live in Utah. Janelle lives in North Carolina. Maddie's there. A lot of my kids live in Utah too. Gwendolyn still lives in Flagstaff. So other than Kody, they're still in Flagstaff. Kody and Robyn. Meri lives in Paran. Everybody's very, very separated. Music. So it's been about a year and a half that I've been here at the B&B. Things are good. I like my life. I don't need you showing up looking like you just rolled out of bed or trying to find you a man. I do have interaction with different members of the family at different times. I've got good relationships with some and almost non-existent with some. You know what I mean? At this point with Coyote Pass, it is still an ongoing situation. Cleaning up Coyote Pass is not something that Meri and Janelle are going to do. There's a lot of stuff that was left behind by Janelle that she was using for the RV. Meri and Janelle expect me to do all the cleanup on this place, but I'm not motivated to do that. Not for them because they haven't been kind. It feels like he's trying to find any possible thing to put on me, as far as responsibility with a property. I'm just wanting to get it taken care of. I think it's his stuff. Music? All right. I'm going to do these 'cause, I'm grandma and I can cook the fun things for the kids, right? Absolutely. That's why we love having you here. I bought them. I love North Carolina. I never thought about it. It wasn't a state I ever thought about, and I love it. I have 4 seasons, all the things I need. I've been trying to kind of put myself in situations where I can meet people. Some of the community events, I've been trying to take a few classes down at the coffee shop or whatever, or the cooking store. And so just trying to get my bearings. Okay. So Coyote Pass is still pain in my ass. Your dad settled. No. So when I married Kody, I really did feel a calling. I had a very strong spiritual witness that I was supposed to be married to Kody, and I don't feel that pull anymore towards plural marriage. Look, I don't care how fast it sells. I just want it resolved. Isn't he all about fairness, though? Oh no, but only for him. Oh yeah, I got you. I got you. Only when it applies to Kody Brown. That's true. That makes sense. Well, I'm sorry that that is what you're going through and the stress of the property. You know, I had sort of thought about a spiritual divorce a long time ago and didn't even realize it was an option. And so when Meri got one, I'm like, oh, hey, Meri, who do I call? You know, so she has been kind of helping me get in touch with everybody. You know, there would be so much benefit to just making polygamy legal and giving any wife a claim on her husband's assets. I could bet you almost would make polygamy go away rather than chase it underground and put people in jail. Just make it about the financial. No guy's going to be given part of his estate to 4 or 5 wives. It's just not going to happen. All right. What do you think? Are those done? Yeah, I think those are done. I think those are done. Cool. All right. You know, I am really glad that it's worked out that I have relocated to North Carolina. 'Cause after Garrison's death, I think Flagstaff would have been harder. I know that Wyoming was absolutely the right place to bury him. Everybody pretty much was able to make it. We're always talking about him. It almost is like he's very present and I'm really good. And then at night, sometimes when it's quiet or some picture comes up on my phone that I'm not good. I love being with the grandkids. Love it. It's so therapeutic for me. After the funeral, we went back to Erica's house and we were having a barbecue. Leon and I started talking about just unpacking everything because Garrison's death showed a lot. So with Kody, it's like I'm angry at the way things happened, but I can control how I react and how I reciprocate. And I'm still deciding how I do that. I'm sad for him, and I'm really sad for Robyn's kids. And if I had a conversation with any of them, I'd be like, I have nothing against you, and if I've ever done anything to hurt you, I'm sorry. I would love to have a conversation with you. I'm not sure what to say other than that. If I ever caused you pain, I'm sorry. Music. May I have to stop? You want your dad to show up? And you want reconciliation. And I know that I played a part, but I'm angry. And I'm angry because I'm still trying out to learn to not be disappointed. Music. I would really love to have a better relationship with my children that I had with those ex-wives. I literally just compartmentalized the heartbreak. I don't know what to do. I would love healing with every single person I know. I would love healing with Meri. I would love healing with Janelle. I would love healing with Christine and, of course, all of my children. But I think we're in an impasse here because this healing can only happen on their terms only. I would absolutely love it if Kody and I, if Robyn and I, me and Christine, me and Janelle could just get to a place with each other that we can be kind and civil to each other. In order to really heal with anybody, there has to be trust. We all need to see each other again when it's not around a funeral so we can all start to heal a different way. I'm still learning how to see him for who he is, and I feel like Leon's already come to peace with this. And it's really hard because I don't feel like I have. I'm trying to understand that maybe he didn't know how to show up and he might be hurting. Music, we're ready to go. Let's go. Let's go do this. Let's go have you speed date. No, I have never even thought about doing speed dating. Just too stressful. It's too big of a group and it's way too noisy. Losing a wife in our religion was sort of a walk of shame. I've been concerned that somehow or another I'm diminished in Robyn's eyes. Diminished in Robyn's eyes. I'm diminished in Robyn's eyes. Diminished in Robyn's eyes. Day, I don't know how it's going to be. I've never done anything like this before, but I think it'll be fun. So, I'm heading up to Salt Lake because I am going to go to a speed dating event. Should be very interesting. I have never done speed dating before. So, just do that when you walk in tonight. Yes. Okay. And then I need a man who knows and loves this. Listen, if somebody doesn't like me and all my snort laughter, then they just aren't going to get me. And then they're just not my person. Music, I think humor. In any case, I don't care if you fart when you laugh accidentally. I don't have a problem with Meri's snort laugh. We're ready to go. Let's go. Let's go do this thing. Let's go have you speed date. No, I have never even thought about doing speed dating. Just too stressful. It's too big of a group and it's way too noisy. I'd have to meet them totally organically. I'm not going on any apps. I'm not speed dating. I'm not letting anyone set me up. Nothing. 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 Speed date for a soulmate. Dating is interesting because some people really just don't want to date. It's teaching me how to trust myself. Music. And I'm interested in finding somebody who is kind, who is outgoing, who is super confident with who he is. I would love to find somebody who's tall. Like 6 feet or taller would be awesome. Somebody who has like really good kind eyes. You can see if somebody's a good person by looking in their eyes. Music. For the most part, it's just Kody and I and our kids. You know, I nag him about interacting with his other children. He pushes back, tells me to give him space, da-da-da. So, but other than that, it's just us. School years ago, school mornings were like a crazy thing because some mothers were off to work, and some mothers were getting kids ready for school, and some kids were getting themselves ready for school. Music. Okay, sweetheart. All right, come on. You got to eat. You got everything, Gabe? Yes, thank you. Good. You want breakfast for you? Yes, this is pretty much how it goes. I really wasn't that involved with getting Clan ready for school. I was at work. It was bittersweet. Music, the Leahy experience. It was really special. There we go. We just killed that turkey right there. There's this strange thing that Rob and I were in plural marriage together. It all came together and they all just left. Like we're monogamous, but we didn't choose that. It was kind of chosen for us when Kody's exes left. I did not choose monogamy for Robyn because I chose me. Like I didn't have a relationship with Kody, and I barely had one with Robyn, and I wasn't willing to do that just so she could say she lived polygamy. Okay, go eat vitamins. So it's definitely a different balance because he wasn't there all the time. You know, it was a couple times a week. The yellow and the green. Try not to spill, bud. I think because he had so many wives, he didn't have to check in the same way as you would as a monogamous. Okay, here's your school equipment too. I was very devoted to my family life, but now I'm embedded in my family life. He's putting his phone in his pocket. Oh, Saul, it's not good for your body. You know, with plural marriage, you'd think you would need more accountability, but I think I'm being held more accountable now with Robyn. I love you. I love you. Bye, Mom. Bye. Have a good day. I'm now in a different marriage than I've ever been in. Good morning. You ready? Yep. Losing a wife in our religion was sort of a walk of shame. Are you going to smile? There we go. I've been concerned that somehow or another I'm diminished in Robyn's eyes, because we haven't had an easy 3 years going through all of this. Did you get all the bags? Her bags? Got it all. I've had family members ask me if Kody and I are going to live plural marriage again. Do you want to watch us drive off and wave? Yes. So, there's been some conversations about that from family. Some pressure a little bit too. You know, are you going to live plural marriage again and bring somebody else into the family? Put your seatbelt on. And it's a very personal thing because it's such a big decision. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Music. Jen decided it would be a really good idea to do some practice speed dating. Hi, I see your name is Meri. Wow, that's spelled weird. My name is Bob. I spell it with 2 O's. Laughter. Nice to meet you. Music. Yes, I can. We'll do a redo. No, there's no redo. So, we're kind of really celebrating North Carolina and the property. And so everybody's out. Aspen and Mitch are here. Christine and David are here. My sister and her husband are here. Peyton is here. But we're going to also go distance. Go a distance. I can't go distance. No. And we said it's a race. Maddie's been actually training to run a marathon. So, I think she was talking about it, and I think David in his true fashion is like, well, I could run a marathon. He's charming, but he's definitely has an ego. But he's going to pull. Hey, you're an endurance racer. Okay. I'm like a cheetah. Do you think this is like Maddie challenging you? Do you think this is like a rite of passage? I don't know if it's a rite of passage. I think that if it was going to be a shorter distance, David would win. David is not going to win this. On your mark. Get set. Go. Go. Maddie. Maddie. No, Maddie. You gotta run faster. Faster, Maddie. Faster, Maddie. Ear applause. Nice. That was fun. I think David won, though. That was a bit surprising. What I love is that you can tell he really loves Christine, and Christine is so happy. I mean, Kody always had such a big personality and such a big presence, right? And David is the same. He's got a big personality. He's full of bluster. He's kind of like, I can do it. I can do it better. Like all that. Like, I mean, he's just that guy. I think Dave is confident. Kody is very confident as well. He's confident. It's funny. I've always preferred someone who's a little bit like very confident. Do you guys want to see the map? Like, we have an aerial map of the property that we're going to go look at. I have been here for literally more than a day and you have not mentioned an aerial map. I have wanted property, our farm, the rural life since I was a little kid. So Maddie, Caleb, and I bought 156 acres in North Carolina, about 30 minutes from their existing house. It's very rural, totally undeveloped, covered with trees. I got to unroll it and then roll it the other way. So, we have two projects really on this property. We need to get our houses built, and we need to get the farm area cleared. Some copies. Gotta have a barn. Got to have a place for the chickens. Got to have a garden. All that. So, this is where we want to put the flower farm here. So where would your home be? And then the home here. This is where it perked for septic. Okay. So you're going to have a road. What are you going to call like this road? What are you going to call that road? Caleb said, why don't we call it Bob Boulevard? Bob Boulevard. That's funny. I like that. That's a good name. Garrison's first name is Robert. So, he would be referred to as like Uncle Bob. They all have their little nicknames. Garrison says Bob. Garrison's always in our thoughts, right? We will definitely probably have a part of the flower garden that's really more of a memorial to him and to Bob's floral, his Hawaiian shirt shop. We'd like to do a flower garden area, like a monument, like a quiet garden that's like dedicated to people who struggle with mental health and lost their battle. He'll always be here. He will be represented here for sure on this property. Music. So when we get here and like you get checked in and I just like you're going to have to totally not sit where I can see you. I have said for a long time, I would really, really, really love to meet somebody organically. And this is probably almost as organic as I'm going to get. Salt Lake City speed dating event is where it's at for me. I might say otherwise at the end of the night though. We'll see. You're going to get there in my head. You're going to like sign your name in. Get your little name badge. These guys will just deer in headlights and they're going to have to make you interested enough in a short amount of time to like know that this is what you want to do. So like what if they sit down and they don't know what to say? What if they sit down and they just like stare at you? Jen decided it would be a really good idea to do some practice speed dating. Hey Meri, I'm Edward. Hey Edward. See me match? I did. Yeah, you match that energy and that voice. Totally match that energy. Okay. Tell me a little about yourself. I'm 54, yeah, single. Uh-huh. Ready to mingle? Ready to mingle. Like it. Hi, I see your name is Meri. Wow, that's spelled weird. My name is Bob. I spell it with 2 O's. My son. Hi. Hi, Boo. Hi, Meri. My name is Thomas. Hi, Thomas. This is something I've never done before. What about you? I've done this a lot. I'm actually on my 4th wife. Not at the same time. Oh, hold on, uh-huh. At what point in the conversation do I say, oh, by the way, I have been divorced from a man who had 4 wives, but my family has 18 children, and I only have 1. Like, would you actually tell somebody on a 6-minute date? No, that would take up the whole 6 minutes. I don't know. There was a guy that I was talking to. He found out who I was, and he was like, I can't continue talking to you. This is not something that I'm even interested in or open to. And it was very hurtful to me because I was a polygamist. You're not interested in pursuing a relationship with me. First date is not I was a polygamist. 3rd wife. You know, you don't go into that on a first date. The night before I told him I was leaving, he summoned me to the den. He told me if I left, I'd get nothing. No land. No money. Nothing. He said the courts couldn't touch him because everything was already tied up. And then he said, her eyes locked onto Kody, blazing. He said, you'll crawl back penniless. They always do. The courtroom gasped as one. The judge's gavel thundered down. Order in the court! Christine's hands trembled. but her stare never left Kody. His mask cracked, jaw flexing, nostrils flaring, rage boiling through the facade. The prosecutor smiled, satisfied. No further questions. The defense attorney rose, a man in a sharp gray suit with slicked back hair. He moved toward Christine slowly, smiling like a predator circling prey. "Mrs. Brown, you've been separated from my client for some time now, correct?" Christine's lips pressed thin. "Yes, and your feelings toward him? They aren't exactly warm, are they?" Christine gave a bitter laugh. "That's one way of putting it. So it would be safe to say you might be biased." Christine's expression hardened. "Biased? No, I'm not biased. I'm finally free to speak." The lawyer smirked. "Of course, but isn't it true that after leaving you gave interviews, wrote blogs, cashed in on your version of events?" Christine's eyes blazed. Her words cut like steel. "Yes, I told the truth, and I'll keep telling it, because truth is the only weapon I have against a man who silenced me for 25 years. The gallery erupted in gasps. The attorney's smirk faltered. He tried again. "And isn't it true that you could benefit financially if my client were convicted?" Christine leaned forward, voice deadly calm. "I'll benefit if the truth is seen. If justice is served, money doesn't buy back decades of lies." The lawyer shuffled his papers, flustered. The damage was done. Christine hadn't been weakened. She had been sharpened. Her testimony wasn't reopening wounds. It was twisting. Christine Brown returned to the witness stand, but this time it wasn't reality TV drama. It was war. Defense attorney Martin Hale tried to destroy her credibility by flashing a 2018 document that appeared to show she'd signed away her rights. But Christine stood firm, declaring Kody lied, bullied and gaslit her, and just when it seemed the jury might waver, prosecutor Marissa Caldwell struck back, revealing the so-called waiver was never notarized, never recorded, and essentially worthless, leaving Kody pale and shaken as the courtroom gasped. And then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. As Janelle Brown rose, calm and cold, unfolding years of financial records and telling the jury she alone handled the money, that she knew exactly where it came from and where it went, exposing shell companies with no workers, no property, just Kody's name. And in that instant it became clear. Christine had lit the fire, but Janelle was about to burn his empire to the ground. The knife. And with that, the entire room froze. Janelle's calm voice carried more weight than any outburst Kody could muster. She explained how money was quietly funneled through those empty shell companies, then redirected into accounts only Kody and Robyn controlled, accounts that the other wives never even knew existed. Jurors leaned forward, pens scratching furiously as Janelle detailed withdrawals timed perfectly with Christine's departure and Garrison's confrontation, a pattern too precise to ignore. Kody shifted in his chair, his hand gripping the table until his knuckles turned white, while Robyn fidgeted beside him, eyes darting toward the floor as Janelle listed transaction after transaction, the very proof Christine had hinted at, now laid bare in black and white. And when Janelle finally looked up from her folder and told the jury, "He didn't just cut us off emotionally, he cut us off financially. He kept us trapped." The silence that followed was heavier than any gavel strike, the kind of silence that spelled doom for Kody's carefully constructed empire.